to bangers and smash, and I promise you it gets better and better. With 5 bash-ups on the way, 3 of them DDs, and a chance for you to take the wheel of a real rocking Robin Reliant. Semi-final 2 first from Hensford with Rob Porter.
After some tremendous heats and superb semis, we now have the first of 2 finals of this fantastic mega team meeting from Hensford Hills. 184, Simon Collier leading the round, but look at that lineup of cars. Many of the pink Stingbridge cars, the Milkborn Tigers getting turned out on the home straight. There's a pilot right at the start there. 319 Shelton gets past. The Coventry Avenger is quick round. And they are just not backing off. Oh, and 777, Trevor Love taken all the way in there. Well, what a fantastic start to this B final. Look at the pile-up on the home straight. Half a dozen cars matched together. Well, there may be more, and there's some very squashed ones in the middle. Looks like one of the Stingbridge boys right in the middle of that lot, and he has been hit hard. 1 or 2 of the drivers bailing out now. The marshal's already waving the yellow flags, and that means that we've got a driver in trouble. The rest of the drivers having to slow down. There's 122, Dave Vincent, 126, Roy Bradley, 120, Shane Brand. Some of the big names in banger racing in that pile-up. And it looks like 184, the man who was on the front row for this, Simon Collier, who may be hurt. And now the race has been stopped. The St John Ambulance Brigade having a good look here. And all attention now focused on this, and just going to make sure that this particular driver, Simon Collier, is okay. Well, it took them 20 minutes to sort out Simon Collier, the driver trapped in the middle of that huge pileup. But thank goodness he is now receiving the best care and attention. And the rest of the drivers now ready for the restart for the B final. The top 36 point scorers will be out in the A final right after this one. But this is a chance for these guys to score some more points for their team. Top point scorers overall win the day. And who is going to be the National Banger Team Champion? 287, Paul Totem getting ready to lead the round now. 288, Matthew Fiddler on the second row. There's the pace car not being caught by Roy Bradley. This time at 168. Ian Horsfield, there's a big horse getting turned round. Right at the start there. Andy Hunt 09 gets flung onto the centre. And the Coventry Avengers are avenging. Number 20, James Medley dipping through on the inside, one of the top drivers at Milkborn this season. Oh, and 181 is flung round. That's Jason Hall getting back into the armco. Basher Broad living up to his name. In number 57, the Bristol-based banger enthusiast. Here's Gizmo 287, Paul Totem. Ooh, and one right on the nose for the basher from Gary Shuttleton in 319. 287, Paul Totem. Number 20, James Medley. That's where the race is. Forward 243, could be in trouble. Here he is. Oh, ouch. And he will bail out, and who knows, maybe even straighten it out for another day. There's 67, Sparky. Mark Whittaker getting turned round. Oh, and John Bull's car doesn't handle too well now, does it, Basher? 287, Paul Totem in charge here. Just worrying 251 in Phillips and beautifully flicking him out. Now that is the sign of a top banger driver. There's 811 Pete Winter. I mean, look at the state of that. As Jason Paul has to go a big horse. And it's number 20, James Medley, who's won it with 287, Paul Totem in second place. And now A few others come back to life because it's time for the Destruction Derby for the B finalists. This is their last race today, and they're doing this on the track, on the centre, on the figure of 8, wherever they like. Or you, mate, get out of the way! Number 20, wow! He has been jacked up good and proper. Oh my goodness me! And the Blues boy piling in there with a bit of help from 491 Neil Sparks and gold now. Attacks the back axle. Number 22 cars, Bentley, flies into a pilot and they're all thrown into him. Ooh, he went to his bubble by Jason Paul in 101. Trouble here, courtesy of the Commentary Avenger, well, just for today anyway, John Golden. Oh, and look at that, textbook stuff, as cab 142, the Barton boy is blitzed. 181 Jason gets nobbled by the other Commentary Avenger, and here comes John Golden straight through the front of the 181 Jason Paul car. So, 384 and 169, the Commentary Avengers still running, and, well, Jason Paul's Capri, they can't stop it yet, they're going to have another go now. One of them flicks him round, while the other one steaming for the kill. Yes! Oh, what a hit there by John Golden! And that destroys 181 Jason Paul, a massive T-bone. Looks like it may have written the pair of them off. And we may now be looking at the last car running, the Commentary Avenger 169 wins the DD.
Now then, Cheyenne, you must be a happy man.
Well, not too bad. Just nice to have another go out again. I've been out for a long while, got injured last time. I'm back out. We're ready for more.
You give it some welly and now on.
We always do. Try the best for it. Just keep going as long as we can, that's it. When it stops, it stops.
Now, you raced for the Avengers. Now, they were pretty determined because they came second last year.
We'll get first. I think we'll get this year. Honestly think we'll do it. Yeah, I think we're looking good.
Fully revved up for this final, aren't you?
Very revved up, yes. Very full.
Will you be out again in this car?
No, that's it now. This one's scrap.
And how many other boys in the gang?
There's about 35 of us all together. Scattered about around the place. But we'll do it.
An army of you?
Yes, but I've been going for a long time. A very long time. 2 years now. So we should do it, I think.
Well, this is your home track, you know, home crowd, so you got to please them.
Well, definitely. Just do as best I can, that's all I can. Okay.
Well done.
Okay.
See you later.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll leave team racing alone for the moment and return to vintage banger racing at Mildenhall.
98, Tony Matthews wisely cleaning the numbers off the door panel, which means that the lap scorers will be able to see him for at least the first lap of this, the main event, for the sensational Reliant Robins. You saw them first here at Mildenhall 8 years ago, and now they are very much part of the family. 28 of them here tonight as part of the classic car meeting. Oh, and there's the first one in the fence in this main event. And they just hurdle around and surprisingly stable, but not that stable! And there's the first rollover in the final. The World Reliant Robin champion, if that's possible, Mike Croxon. And look at this! This is Andrew Davis' Preparation Stretch Robin. I don't know how many Robins they cut up to make that one. There's 71 Steve Odell, one of the champions in this formula. And he's actually a stock car driver of many, many years' experience. But as soon as he had a go in Reliant Robins, that was it. He was bitten by the three-wheel bug. And he has never missed a meeting here at Mildenhall. And somewhere out there we've got Graham Hall, who travelled all the way from the northwest to race here. That's one heck of a journey as Lenny Boy almost gets nudged into the parked one. Oh, and now he's been turned back and over! Another one falls over. And look, Andrew Davis, I mean, the power to weight ratio on that one has got to be all wrong. Well, it's at least twice as bad as the others, isn't it? But he's still managing to get it sideways round the bend. And what a thrill. Opposite lock in the Reliant Robin. Well, let's call it a limo, shall we? Well done, Andrew. I think he's the reigning British champion, actually. And why not? Now then, those short Reliant Robins coming to a halt now because that rollover was in a dodgy spot, and the last thing you want is a driver hurt. Everybody here at Millwall, indeed at all the banger tracks, loves to see the cars crumpled, but not the drivers. So the marshals wisely deciding that they could spend a couple of minutes popping these back onto their three wheels, and then they'll be able to sort them out ready for the next race. And we're going to have part two of this one in a very short while. Lovely bit of R-texing on the front of that Robin as we get ready for part two of the main event for the Reliant Robins. Nobody hurt in those rollovers, the driver's okay, the car's pushed to safety. That's one of the Barnett family. They race everything in Millwall. There's 158 alongside Shane Davis and 169 Lenny Boy Brinkley leading the survivors round. Go on, Lenny. Anybody with the sense to put a roof in on his car on a night like this is a clever boy and deserves all the luck. Alright then, 147 Andrew Davis, we can pick that one out because it's twice as big as all the others. And that means it's easier to spin round as they're all having a go at doing now. He's doing remarkably well in that, isn't he? Number 9. Now then, some rotter has just got alongside him now. Oh, and some dirty swine is now spinning out Andrew Davis, but he holds it. Gets into the thick stuff, and it's self-righting. Number 9, Darren will look at the car control there. I was going to say a four-wheel drift, but you know what I meant. 71, Steve Odell gets it wrong, courtesy of... Well, that's his mechanic! The driver at number 17 is Steve Odell's mechanic, and as a treat, they built him a Reliant Robin for today, and he's gone and spun the boss out. Here comes the rest of them. Oh, and another one falls over on the back straight there. Well, I don't know who that was. And the fans are enjoying this. And there's 158 now. Shane Davis with the roll cage that actually protrudes from the car. I think the idea is that when it goes over, it keeps going and gets back onto its wheels again. There's 224, slithers into the mud. Will he come back from that? Yes. So now, 158. Shane Davis in the lead. He's already raced at a Mark 1 console at this meeting, which is of course a brown car, although it did begin as a beautifully prepared pink one. The pig's falling off that Robin, but the plastic pig putting on a show, and it looks like the American Air Force are also zooming in to have a look at this extraordinary action. Oh! And right up a post there for somebody. Meanwhile, the limo still goes nicely. It looks like he's lost one of his doors at the back. Only 5 left now. And they're still thundering round. Well, that's not right, the right word, is it? Screaming round, how about that? Putt-putting round there. We've got a lot of people all cutting your grass at the same time, making that kind of noise. And they're doing jolly well too. Oh, I think 158 Shane Davis may have just won that. Indeed he has. So 158, Shane Davis, who's already finished in second place in the warm-up race, has now won the main event for the sensational Reliant Robins.
We're staying at Mildenhall now for more from the pre-70 bash. The Robins have rocked and now it's time for the bangers.
after 4 tremendous qualifying heats and 2 sensational consolation races. This is it, the classic car banger final, pre-1979 at Millpool Raceway. 100 cars began the meeting. The top 34 on the track now for the final. And already they're getting stuck into each other. Some of these gorgeous motors now. This could be their last bit of glory. There's 167 Cosby in the mix, who's already had a win at this meeting. Oh, and look at that, 158 Shane Davis in the Mark 1 console, who's had a win in the Robins. There's 42 Graham Carey, who won his heat, and 241 Steve Kasser, the former Arena Essex Banger champion, getting stuck in, turned round and whacked out of it. 71 Lee Overy in amongst that lot. And can you spot those car banks now? Well, there's a Trummy, number 800 in the Triumph, Mark II Triumph 2000, John Ailes, who normally races at Ringwood. And there's 444, Bill Dorrell, one of the Benjamin drivers. There's that magnet of Ricky Corpiello, 142. The track now slowing up a bit. I mean, it really has been awful weather for this meeting, and top marks to RDC and all their helpers on preparing a superb service that has held up surprisingly well as Davis gets stuck into Ailes. Wow. It's a crime, an 8-3 there. Carl Dillon has a good old go at Corpiella. Meanwhile, 42 Graham Carey in the smaller Triumph, that's just a tiny little 1300, is picking his way through nicely as Dorrell gets tickled on the bank by somebody or other. And why not? There's one of the Herberts, 236, that's Darren Herbert. 69 Sharkey, oh, Clive Mampers has, somebody's up a post down here. Sonny Sherwood has just buried someone. 348 Mushy. And there's number 18 Burbridge in that big old Volvo. You don't see many of those anymore. And this might be why, as 541 Parfit is turned round in his A60. 69 Sharkey, who normally races Triumph 2000 here, by the way. Clive Mampers, and does very well in them. Nice for him today, because everybody's out with similar tools as Tuffin is turned into Davis. Those two racing in the same team normally, representing Mildenhall. But of course it's a solo event, this one. My pre-1970 classic against yours. It's 348, Mushy's Triumph glides under control, out of turn 4 and down the straight. Sonny Sherwood, the reigning Mildenhall champion. There's 65 Jamie Charles, and that car, we're not sure. We think it's one of Jamie's old ones from years and years ago, because it was a used A60, and that's what he used to favour when he raced regularly in the 80s. And so, oh, look at that, 158 Shane Davis's Mark 1 console now, may just have been mullered for the last time. Not much left of that one. Oh, it's Corpiello's magnet, and it survives. Comes off the ropes. There's 290 race winner Jason McMahon. Saw him hurtling home in heat number 2, and Davis still running in 158. 65 Charles has got it going again. But 291, well, that could have damaged the steering on that particular car. That's Jason Giddings. Morris Oxford getting the treatment. 42 meanwhile, Graham Carey is looking in commanding form here. 179 Sean Rushton, another one of those big travellers from the northwest. There's 22 Dave Vincent in the Merc. And Mushy and Corpiella and Sharkey. And now what are they going to do? Well, look at the front of that. And still, the motor works as 142. Corpiella is again launched into the fence. And I remember this young man when he used to race youth bangers here at Mildenhall. And although he's out in that magnet tonight, he actually raced in Triumph 2000. He was known for it. And I'll never forget one night here at Mildenhall when he was hurtling around the track. He was the only one left He got 1 lap to go, a massive fishtail all the way down the straight, and he blitzed an empty car. He didn't mean to, but the crowd loved it, and he fired it up, came out and took the checkered flag anyway. So a young man who loves to thrill the fans and really enjoys his banger racing, as Charles and Giddings have a good old go at each other. Then 2:36, Herbert doing well, but now can the smaller Triumph and Kerry get past us? 24 Matt Stroud piles in with the 1100. Oh, and Giddings gives Burbridge a big one, and 2:41 Steve Kasser resurrecting the dirty half dozen for this meeting, and Kerry's been turned around, and now Overy is going the wrong way. Oh, and a big T-bone there for 71 Lee Overy. 2:36 Darren Herbert, 2:41 Steve Kasser get back into the race. Graham Kerry, still the leader. Some of the other boys now deciding, why wait for the Destruction Derby? Let's do it now. And they are. Look at Parfitt's car, 541. That A60 has completely had it as 334 Danny Wade spins himself out. John Ailes 800, despite dishing out some massive hits, is still going well. And there's top drivers from all over the banger racing country here for this one at Phil. Oh, and another one there from Ailes. And there's the checkered flag, and it's a superb heat final double for number 42, Graham Kerry, in the tiny Triumph 1300, which has turned out to be, at his hands, the right tool for the job. The 7th annual Mildenhall Classic Car pre-1970 Banger Bash, and they will be doing it again next year. You don't want to miss it.
Well, if you enjoyed that, you'll be pleased to learn that even more action awaits us, with the much-promised in-car footage, plus the deciding race from the team championships at Hensford.
Now, if they're taking a rest, I think we should have one too, and a well-deserved one at that. So why don't you make a cup of tea and join us again after the break.
Bye, have a great time.
Bye, Melissa, that's me, for me. Go